In this module, we're gonna be talking about the investment scale, an investment, and this is part of your breakthrough, okay? So investment, what is it? It's a word you probably may have heard before. It just means that in an interaction, there's always two people. And it might feel like one person is chasing the other quite often. It might feel like you're always trying to pursue the girl, you're trying to get her attention, you're trying to get her to invest, for a better lack of a word, into you. And you might feel like you're always investing into her. Now, guys invest in the girls by taking them out on dates, calling them, telling them they're pretty, giving them compliments, all that stuff. You're making an investment into her with your time and your attention. But it might feel like that same girl is not investing back into you. And it's very frustrating because what does that look like? That looks like you calling her up, asking her out on a date. She doesn't answer. It looks like you sending her a text. Maybe she texts back the next day. That's like you saying you're attracted to her. She doesn't give you a compliment or say anything back, doesn't ask you any questions, doesn't tell you any stories. And it's frustrating because you're putting so much energy into it and you don't know if this is gonna pay out in any way, right? You're putting energy into a person, to interaction, and nothing comes out of it potentially. And that can get really annoying for you. It happens over and over again. So I got the goods for you here today. I'm not gonna bullshit you here today. I'm gonna give you the hardcore truth of the investment scale. Now, once you start using the scale, what's gonna happen to you is instantly you're gonna see girls start hitting you back, asking you out on dates. You're gonna feel like it's not such a tug of war to try to get her attention. You're gonna see when you text a girl, she also texts you back. She's happy to continue the conversation, right? You're gonna see that when you invite a girl out on a date, she might say, hey, hold up. I got this, and she takes out her purse and her wallet, she pays for it. And it's not even a trick to get you to be nice to her or think she's a swell girl. She genuinely wants to pay for it. You're gonna feel like a pickup isn't something that you do to a girl. You're gonna feel like a pickup is now something you can do together and you're enjoying each other's company. So get ready for the investment scale. In my experience, there's 4 ways to categorize this investment scale. There's a lot of other ways you can break it down, but this is the most compact way to explain it. So in this module, you'll find all of these. You're gonna find the cold approach. You're gonna find the online date. You're gonna find the social circle, and you're gonna find on the actual date. And these are the 4 ways that you can think about different areas of investment, 4 buckets as it were. And these buckets need to be filled up with certain types of investment for her to really like you. And once you fill up these investment buckets with the strategies I'm gonna show you in this investment scale, you'll know exactly what the right time is to do the investment maneuver or technique. You know exactly where you are on the scale based on how she's reacting to you, and you'll know what is the right thing to do per particular moment to get her to invest. Imagine that. No longer being blind and scared and saying, where am I? It's not gonna be like you're walking around with your eyes covered or in the dark looking for a light switch. You're gonna know exactly where you are emotionally to her. And based on how she's responding, you can know what the exact investment thing to do is in that particular moment. Let's talk about the initial investment on the cold approach. That's when you walk up to her, you're talking to her, you chat her up a little bit and you start a conversation. Now, you might notice that it feels like she doesn't really put any effort in, or it feels like you get a gut reaction, she's not really trying very hard. You might notice that she kind of has a blasé look on her face where she kind of just looks to the side. You might see where she starts looking at her cell phone, she's just texting away, looks like she's on her Bitcoin or whatever. You might see it when she's talking to her friends on the side, or she just puts minimal effort into actually responding to you. So we know what it doesn't look like. So a good investment, right, just in a conversation, is not the girl making out with you either, because that's just really hard for her to do initially unless you escalate things in a physical, fun, sexual, fun way, flirty way. So real investment looks like this. The first one is the girl's just giving you intention at all. She's just giving you the time of day. She's like literally just looking this way and then looks at you and is listening to what you say and gives you attention. Just her eyes on you and just her being focused on you is attention, and that is a form of investment, because guess what we do? If we don't like something, we remove our attention from it and then we're no longer giving it an investment. The second one is going to be ask a question. You might have a basic conversation with her, like, oh, so where are you from? And she tells you, da 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 da. And you're like, oh, cool. And she goes, oh, so where are you from? All right, that's a question. She doesn't have to ask those questions. Like you don't, like for example, when you see a beggar on the street and the beggar maybe is a little too persistent, they're pushing really hard to get your attention, you might be facing there towards the beggar and the beggar's like waiting for you to ask him a question, but you don't ask him a question because you know it's gonna prolong the conversation. So the fact that the girl even asks you a question means that she's interested in possibly prolonging the conversation. Now, if you're really pushy, she could just be doing it to be nice. So we're not trying to be pushy here, just a sign of that she could be interested in investing. The next one is she tells you a story. And that's like, she just tells you a story of what she did that day, or she tells you a story about what she's been up to lately. She might tell you a story about her ex-boyfriend or a guy she met in the club a little bit earlier. She's telling you some sort of a story, some version of what happened to her recently or in the past. And she's interested in the story. It's not a story just a pastime. Like, excuse me, do you know where the peas are in the grocery store? I just passed the broccoli section and it was crazy. Like, it's not like a story to pass time. It's a story she's passionate about and she's interested in. She wants to share it with you. And that means that she's interested in telling you about it to further continue forming a relationship, like in that interaction. Like, and I say forming a relationship, I don't mean like she's interested in being with you for years and years and years. I mean, she's interested in forming a relationship with you to talk to you in that moment. All right. And the last one is spends more than 10 minutes. Anything more than 10 minutes is more than a pleasant conversation, in my opinion, right? Because people might be stuck in casual conversation they feel nice to be around or nice to be involved in, but it doesn't mean they want something from you. Picture you walk through the mall, there's a kiosk, or there's somebody that's selling either sponsorship for children, and maybe you've already sponsored a child, maybe you're not interested in that right now, but they're talking to you, and it's a nice story to hear about. You listen to the story about the kids in Africa and how the money gets donated. You might even ask a question and tell them a little story, but you're not gonna stand there for 10 minutes just to waste your time because you got things to do. If you're gonna stand there for 10 minutes, most likely it's because you're interested in some way, either a friendship way or a romantic way or somewhere in between, but you're still interested in what the person has to say and what they're bringing to the table. So if a girl stands there talking to you for 10 minutes and you're not really putting a hard effort in her to do that, you're putting a minimal effort, is at some point she's willing to make an investment. Doesn't mean she's interested yet, but it means an investment is the potential to be interested. Back in the day, we talk about hoops of conversation. You ask her a question that she jumped through. That's old mystery method stuff. The guy's a genius, right? But now we're talking about what I call the investment hoop, which is an opportunity for her to invest, and does she comply by going through it or not? Now, investment, in order for her to even do one of these things, you have to build up what's called value. Every time you ask her to comply with an investment, you're risking your value. So imagine like, you talk to a girl for 5 minutes, high five her friends, buy her a drink, and you're like, hey, could you buy me a drink? She's like, no. All of a sudden, like, wah, 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 wah. You don't look so cool anymore. You've lost your value, right? Your value has gone down. But on the other side is if she does comply to what you're asking her, then your value goes up. So imagine you talk to her friends, you talk to a girl, buy her a drink. Hey, you want to buy one too? Yeah, sure. The exchange, the value goes there. She complies, she invests back into you. Now you're even cooler. So every time she invests back into you, you go up a level. But if she doesn't, you kind of fall back down a level. You have to talk and chat and try to just keep it going for a bit and then try one of these hoops again on the scale, because these scales are so important. I call it the investment milestones, right? The investment milestones on that scale and that timeline. If they don't have these, then she's eventually just gonna lose interest if you don't do them at all. So you have to risk it. It's like a necessary risk that you gotta take, all right? Number one, hold my drink. Very basic, so simple. You're talking to a girl, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3, not less than 5, okay? You're just holding a drink in your hand and you're sipping it and you're like, hey, could you hold this for a second? Just get her to hold it. Very basic. It's a common social courtesy, so most people aren't going to say no to it. But the fact that she's holding your drink while you're reaching for your phone or you're doing something or you're doing your hair or whatever it is a favor for you. Because then guess what? You can hold something for her. Because a girl will not hesitate to be like, here, hold my phone, hold my purse, buy me a drink. Like, buy me a drink is a huge investment, right? Compared to the relationship you might have. It's a huge request. Huge. It's like 5 steps ahead. So you got to start small with the female investment on your side. Next one, tie my shoelace. This is gonna sound so basic, but it's funny, right? Women are nurturing creatures. They're nurturing human beings. They're born with wombs and ovaries to raise children and tie shoelaces and to change diapers. Guys, we can do that too. But you wanna bring up that nurturing side of her. Imagine you have this hot girl who's like this hot bitch in the club and she's like just like towering over everybody. She's intimidating everybody. But if you were to get her to tie her shoelace, could she go back to being that hot, studdy girl at the club? No. I call it stud. Stud is like a guy thing, but she can go back to being the female version of that anymore because it wouldn't make sense. You're changing the role a little bit in who she has to be in the relationship with you guys. So it's just like, oh, my shoes are terrible. I can't even tie these things. You help me out? Help a brother out, right? Or like just have them untied. It's like, look at this, pathetic, right? Like, can you do this better? Can you help me out with this, etc. It doesn't have to be smooth. Just see if she would do it. You'd be surprised. A lot of girls are like, yeah, I can do it. and they'll just do it for you. Just you enjoying your company. But you risk a lot by not trying it. That's the main point. By not trying it, you risk more, because if you don't try it, then eventually you're stuck where you have a girl who's not investing into you and you're chasing her. You gotta risk it. Next one, buy me a drink. Buy me drinks, okay? This is hilarious because girls do it to you after hello. I've had girls literally do it after hello. I'm like, hey, hello. They're like, buy me a drink. One time I was at a Grant Cardone seminar. It was so funny. Grant Cardone seminar for self-development. Guys always talking about like 10x your life, 10x your wisdom, 10x your girls, 10x your relationships. And he gave a mission to everybody to ask somebody how much money they make, right? He's like, if you're afraid to ask how much money they make, you can't make that much money. So I saw this hot girl during the lunch break and I walk up to her. I'm like, hey, what's your name? She's like, how much money did you make last year? And I was like, damn. And I was like, I don't know. 6 figures? And she's like, oh, I made 40K. And I was like, I always felt like I shouldn't be talking to her. I was like, okay, thanks, bye. And I left because I was no longer interested in her, right? It's kind of like that's so extreme when a girl asks you for a drink right away. It's just over the top. So what I recommend you do is ask her to buy you a drink after you've done all this stuff. Like, hey, you buy me a drink, I'll buy the second round. And she's not willing to buy the first round, then she's probably not willing to buy any round, right? Because how many times in her life a guy bought her a drink? So you gotta mix it up a little bit. Next one, back massage, very simple. You just go like this. My back is killing me. Like it's sore. I've been sore all day. It's like I work too hard. It's like this on the laptop. You good at back massages? Sweet. Go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do this. I'll give you one back, right? Make sure it's reciprocated. And that's also, it's like if you want to go home with a girl, have a girl kiss you, if she's disgusted by touching your back, you're really far off from kissing her. So just get a little bit physical right there. Let her touch your back. See how that goes, okay? A little back massage. Doesn't have to be great. It's not grind down massage, elbow, deep tissue. It's just like in the club. Like you're sitting next to a couch and sitting on a couch. A little bit like that. A little bit of back massage. Never hurt anybody. Not a long thing, just like 20, 30 seconds, okay? Next one, pick up girl for me. This is one of my favorite. Are you a good wing girl? Are you a good wing girl? Are you really? Every girl says that. You know what? The ones that say that they are actually the worst. You know what? Can you pick her up? Go over there. Introduce her. Introduce her to us. Go see if you can start a conversation with her. Here's what you do. Go high five. Say, you're so beautiful. I love your outfit. What's your name? Just do that. See if you can do it. See if you can pick up a girl. Every girl says she's good with girls, okay? It's a little fun game. You're not doing it serious like, oh, fetch me a fish, bitch. It's not like that. It's a little fun game. Go see if you can pick up that girl over there. Go see if you can. Now, some girls will be like, ew, gross. I'm straight. I like dick only. Sweet. And other girls will be like, you know what? I can't believe you told me to do that. It's like, yeah, I was playing around. It's just a joke. I can pick up a guy better than you can. She's like, no, you can't. Right? It's a little fun game. It gets her doing the best. Next one, leave friends for me. Now, at some point, all this has been going on. It's been building up. The girl must leave her friends for you. That is a big investment. Most of your pulls will not be the girl leaving her friends. It'll be her and her friends coming with you to another location. But if a girl does leave her friends for you in some way, she shows independence. Independence is very important. You're not gonna find it in young girls who are like 24 or younger. It's all about my friends, my family. I love my friends. If you ever go on Instagram or Tinder, like what's the first line on Tinder? No fuck boys. I love my dog, Juan, travel, and my friends. It's like, no shit, you like your friends. If you like your friends, they wouldn't be your friends, but they are your friends. So she always loves her friends over and over again. But a girl who's willing to leave her friends for a few minutes, like her friends are like going to dance, I'm like, no, stay here, stay with me. But it's like, fight for me. Like, you know, you found the man of your dreams, stay here. She'd be like, okay, fine, man of my dreams, I'll stay. And her friends go, come with us. She's like, no, I'm staying for a bit, 2 minutes. That is an investment, all right? Next one, stay the night. Any girl who's willing to stay the night is a girl who's willing to get a little bit more attached. Some girls leave because they've been used to getting kicked out. When it's a very, very hot girl, sometimes you should kick her out to show that you're have some independence. You know, it's an emotional thing. It's how the game works. But there are other times where a girl stays the night is an investment for her because she knows that she runs the risk of getting attached. She knows she runs the risk of being in your space. Now, there's some people out there, maybe 15, 20% of the population that just cannot sleep in another person's bed. I totally understand that because, dude, I'm in Airbnbs all the time, hotels all the time. Some beds I can sleep in, some beds I can't sleep in. So I understand that. But if you can get a girl to stay the night with you, that is a form of investment. You might like to sleep alone, make her comfortable, you know, give her a new pillow, give her a blanket, give her a towel, a shower, or whatever, some soap. It's all good. But if you can get her to stay at night, there's an investment. And last but not least, makes breakfast or cooks for you. Makes breakfast is where you wake up in the morning if you're at her place and she makes you coffee and she makes you, a bagel and some bullshit. Now, if you're in Europe, I know this is the normal. Let's take a little moment, just think about Europe. It's the normal in Europe. I wake up in Europe and girls would have my clothes folded on a chair. I like my underwear and my clothes be on the floor. And I wake up, it's like my underwear is folded, my socks are inside out folded into a little packet, and my clothes are folded on the chair, and there's like a coffee beside the bed, like waiting for me. I know. But in the rest of the world, that's not the normal, right? It's not the norm. So a girl's willing to make food for you in the morning, not just a coffee, but like make some food for you, shows an investment. Also, anytime you go on a date and a girl is willing to cook for you at her house, that is an investment. I have a buddy of mine called James. You all know James if you watch the video. Hate on James. Sometimes James would make fettuccine Alfredo, and that's his routine, the sophistication. So how sophisticated he is about the ingredients, and how sophisticated he is about the preparation of the meat and organic chicken. Sophistication, but it's also an investment. Because if he's willing to invest into that and let her into his space, then that way she builds trust for him, right? So every time somebody invests into you, they also build trust, which is very important. All right, now let's get to the goods, man, because I promised to deliver. I want to give you a breakthrough in this challenge, all right? So let's get to the nitty gritty, what's going to get you results instantly, to get you girls that are chasing you, interested in you. And what I'm going to do seems like it's going to be very minuscule, even like rudimentary. By that I mean it's going to like be basic. You can say, hey, that makes sense, but is that really going to work? And the answer is, yeah, it's going to work. When I did my best game, this was part of it, this investment scale from the beginning all the way to the end, the slow buildup. Once you have this integrated, you will see your results change. Now, I recommend you put this into a fucking list and literally just pull it out on your phone in the club if you get stuck somewhere and say, what am I forgetting? Oh yeah, sweet. And continue with this as with the girl as you go along interaction. This is going to dramatically change the results you get. I don't mean that as bullshit. I mean, it literally will change it, because my assumption is that you're doing cold approach and pick up and game in a way that you're just pushing buttons. You're just going for it over and over again. Really, that's not how it should be. It should be give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take, take, give, take, and a gradual scale in between both of you of the giving and the taking. So it's the relationship has equal value to both parties involved. So here we go. Number one, we talked about these girls that are just there to enjoy your company. But what about these girls that ask you a question, tell you a little bit of a story? How about those girls? And what about the ones that don't interact with you? Well, the way to get them to spark that initial conversation or spark more of a conversation past the opening line is by doing this. You can either tease them, bait them, or challenge them. So this is for the girl that maybe you've asked this question to and she hasn't responded. So you ask the question, oh, where are you from? And she says, nowhere. And you go, well, that's an interesting place. Never heard of it, right? Or she says, you say to her, excuse me, what's your name? And she goes, some girl. And you go, is that written in your underwear? Right? It's like you're teasing her about her answer. A bait is you ask a question and you wait for her to take it. You're like, so do you only like guys that are rich? Right? That's a bait. You're baiting her with a question that prompts a response where she wants to say no. So do you only pick up guys on Saturdays at clubs, or you prefer the library? Right? She's gonna say, no, I don't prefer picking guys at the club or the library, or whatever she's gonna say, right? It's a bait her to respond. The last one is a challenge, right? You're challenging either what she says or you challenge her with a question. So she says to you, I've been going to school really long lately. And you go, really? Have you studied a bit longer than me? I don't know if you have. All right, that's a challenge. Or you can say to her, I bet that you can hold a conversation for more than 30 seconds with a guy that you're attracted to, right? You're challenging her in a way to respond to the conversation. And so this can get you over the hurdles, the initial hurdles, if she's stuck at asking questions, or you don't have a question, or she doesn't know what to ask you, or the story phase. This is for a girl who's already giving you attention, but it feels like it's stalling out and you don't know where to take it. It's the initial verbal investment, all right? So follow these tools to get it going. Now, the next one is an effect that I've heard of, which I mentioned before. It's an effect that I've heard of, and this is a documented fact. I did studies on this where a reciprocation is done to people that have invested into us. And basically it says if somebody does something for us, we feel the need or desire to repay it back to make it even either to cash in on the social value that's been built in the relationship, or to not be taking advantage of where somebody is just being nice for us too much and we feel like it's gross. That's the basic principle of the idea. And I'll put the name of it on the screen here. You can see it and go research it more if you want. So with this principle, we tend to want to return favors to people that have done favors for us, or we tend to want to capitalize on the favors that have been done for us. Now, as I said before, that's like give, take, give, take, give, take. You know, you might see a girl where for some reason you talk to her, you make all the funny jokes, you introduce her to your friends, you get her some drinks, you get her some food, and you feel like you're investing. Well, she doesn't necessarily feel the need to recuperate that because she feels like this is great, I can just keep going. And she also doesn't feel the need to repay you because it's been such an uphill benefit for her. There's no reason for her to do that. But so you have to train the habit into it where you're investing into her and you give her an opportunity to invest back into you. You invest into her, give her an opportunity to invest back into you, and so on and so on. All right, now what I want you to do is go back to all the pickups that you've had this week. Okay? All the girls that you've met this week, and think about what happened. Where the fuck did you lose it, man? Where did you lose it? You had it all together, but then you lost it. Think about it. Think about how close you were to the fucking juice of the promised land, and then you lost it. Where'd you go wrong? Think of every girl that you almost had. Think of that girl of your dreams, the one who's just a little bit out of your league, the one who's just a little bit hotter than what you were used to. Think about that girl and be like, yeah, I know the one, she was so hot. I'm like, yeah, so where'd you lose it in the investment? You go, oh, yeah. I lost it there. Yeah, I know. We're texting and calling, but couldn't get her to tell me stories or ask me how my day was or invest into me a little bit. Oh, she was a hot girl and I was doing her favors, bro. But I never got her to do a favor for me. And she's a well-connected person. She knows people in nightlife and she never did anything for me. Idiot. Go back to him. Think about it. Chart him out. Chart them out. You can even make a little Excel sheet, right, with every single one of these at the top as a column. And then think about put the girl's name on the left side. Think about where did you lose the girl? X dropped off here. X dropped off here. And you'll notice the positions and where you lost all these girls. Not to pick on my camera guy, but Jesse, for example, he noticed that he was getting a lot of girls we call spiders. And those are girls that are, typically Australian or Vancouver girls are just like the chat. And because they chat, it feels great. But they're not sexually committed just because they're chatting. They're not making videos for you just because they're chatting. They're not emotionally invested in that way. So you got to figure out what your habit is of how you're getting girls to invest and where your gaps are and where they're not investing. And then once you've made this Excel sheet, the investment Excel sheet, from this moment forward, all right, with every girl that you're going to meet this week, I want you to have a little list in your pocket of the investment steps and print it out and put it on your phone, a little notepad. When we go to the club, you're talking to girls, you're with her for more than 10 minutes, be like, all right, what am I forgetting? And go through it. Because guess what? That's what I did. That's how I came up with this. I am the list. I am the living version of the list. I don't have it written down because I made the list by doing this every single night and figuring out where I was falling off. And that's what's going to take for you to get this. Old habits are going to die hard, man. And for you to get these new habits installed, you're going to become a living, breathing version of this list. So do that. Do the Excel sheet of girls that have fallen off in the past and do the list that you have in your pocket for tonight and for the rest of the week. You got this. Let's talk a little bit about the online games, not the Hunger Games, but the Hunt for Love games. There's a few of them. It could be Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, whatever. Now, my opinion personally, these back in the day we used OkCupid, and OkCupid was more of like a long form conversation. You'd have like 8, 10 exchanges before you go for the number. But dude, no one's on these sites anymore very long. Everybody's got a short attention span. You just got to get that number as quick as you can. But there is an investment. There's an investment into the idea of a conversation. There's an investment into the idea of what you have to offer. There's an investment into the idea of a date. And there's an investment in terms of the exchange of the phone number. So there's actually 4 investments that need to happen on the online dating platform. 4 investments, all right? Let's talk about the conversation. First one is you ask her a screening question and she qualifies herself. So you ask her a question like, what do you do with life and shit? or maybe a little bit nicer. You say, what should I know about you mentally / sensually / emotionally, ? Or something about you, can't decide if I love her or hate it. Tell me about yourself. What's your story, right? These are questions you ask her to tell her about herself. If she doesn't comply to this, then there's no initial conversation happening. On most of these platforms, you're the guy, you gotta send the first message, so that's what has to happen. Now, if she doesn't respond, you can always tease her, bait, challenge her, get her to respond, but initially this is the first one. Next one is, you tease her in some way, she responds accordingly, of course. She responds quickly as well. Next one after that is you give her a POV and she is excited by it. So a POV stands for a proposition of value. You tell her what you are all about. What is the value that you have as a guy? What is the value that is taking place inside of you? And what do you want to offer her to hang out with you to do? Or what kind of guy are you? What can she expect to hang out with you? You know, like most guys haven't thought about this. That's why it's like, do you want to go for a drink? Which is shit. Because if you're a billionaire, you're making the same proposition of value as some guy who never worked a day in his life. Want to go for a drink? Right? If you are a doctor and you are competing with some guy who's like a 19-year-old dude to rip abs, you're both asking, want to go for a drink? It doesn't matter what the drink is, it matters who you think you are. So I tell my guys, my students always to figure it out. One guy tells me now, he says, after he's worked it through, he's like, I like to enjoy nature. So let's go up to the mountain, bike up to the mountain, enjoy some tea and sit down and read some dope ass books. Another guy I know likes to smoke weed. So I'm like, he's like, all right, let's go up to the lookout, smoke some weed and talk until the sun goes down. Like whatever it is, what do you like to do in your free time? Explain to her what kind of guy you are. So me, it's like, you know, I'm a winemaker. I enjoy reading books. I'm a book enthusiast. My spirit is 25. My body, I got an old soul like it's 50, right? 25, my energy, right? I'm really good at not fitting in. I'm not for every girl. I'm okay with that. That's how mine sounds, right? And so you got to figure out what your proposition of value is going to be. And it shouldn't be very long. It should be maybe 4 sentences to 6 sentences long. Next one, you screen for the date and she responds quickly. That means you offer the idea of a date and she gets back to you. Now, I'm not saying, hey, Jessica, let's meet Wednesday, 7 p.m. Let's go do this. I'm not saying that. It's like, hey, you know, we should go out on a date sometime, or we should meet up sometime this week. That's what you're saying. We should get together. I think, you know what? I like this so far. Let's continue this. We should get together for a date. Now, some girls, when they hear that, they just freak out and freeze. And dude, that happens to a lot. That happens to like, honestly, 40% of girls online. Because 40% of girls online don't know what the fuck they're doing online. They have no business being online. They should not be online, but they are for some bullshit reason to pass their time or get validation, or because they think they want to date, but they don't want to make time because they're busy with yoga. And Fluffy, who is their real man, my real man is Fluffy. My real man's Fluffy the dog. I heard a comedian say this the other day. He's like, girl, you're not the dog's mom. You know who the real dog's mom was? The real dog's mom. You're a dog kidnapper. You stole that dog from its mom. You're not the dog's mom. He said that to like break it down, right? Girls occupy themselves with stuff online. And so that's why they don't actually date. So don't be surprised when you bring up the idea for a date, she kind of like disappears and she has to think about it over. Again, she disappears, just tease her. Just tease her. Tease bait challenge. Next one is, you exchange phone numbers and she complies. So you say, hey, you know what? This is a great conversation. Let's exchange numbers and continue this elsewhere. Or Jesse had a good one today. He's like, you know what? Texting is so childish. I'm old school. Let's exchange numbers, right? Something like that. You can bring up an idea or a way for her to transition to a phone number. Now, never ask. Actually, you can ask for the phone number. I'll say that again, actually. You can ask for the phone number, but never give her yours. That was very old school. It's the idea like the girl's gonna take responsibility, she's gonna start investing, but that doesn't happen. You gotta exchange numbers with her by leaving yours and asking for hers. Reciprocal, right? When you give, builds trust. You get back, you give, builds trust. Next one is you call and she calls back, not phone tag. So a lot of people are like, man, what's my first text gonna be? Fuck texting, call. I always say this, and nobody likes to listen to this, but any of my guys that do this, dude, the results they're getting are fucking incredible. I have guys sending me messages every single day. I got a date again. I got a date again. I got a date again. Look at this model, this Swedish hair. I got a date again. I don't know what's going on. It's like they're just calling. They get a phone number and they call it because no one else calls. You want to stand out. You want to show that you are different than the rest. I have about 5 to 8 girls calling me daily, okay? So you gotta call, man. Once you start that trend of calling, she's gonna be receptive. You get to be special. You get special treatment. She's investing into you differently. So call, make sure you call so she can call you back. Now, if she doesn't call, leave her a little audio message. If you have an iPhone, you just press the little microphone next to the iPhone window, iMessage window, you can leave her a little audio message. Hey, what's up? You know, I thought I'd call you to be different. Every guy says they're different, but talking is one thing. Actions speak louder than words. Hit me back, beep, or do your own version of that, okay? Call. Next one, and then she'll probably call you back. Next one, she complies to social media exchange. Once you're talking on the phone, be like, hey, at the end of the phone call, what's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? Some girls will be like, I don't give that up. Now you're clear because you fucking screened out the fact she hasn't taken a photo in 10 years because she gained 80 pounds, right? Or whatever. You know what's up. You don't want to go out on the girl that has only pictures of her feet. Imagine you get her social media, her Instagram, it's only picture of her feet. Red flags, don't see that girl, right? So getting in social media is the necessary thing to make sure you're not wasting your time. You're screening out the girls by calling them. You're screening out the girls by getting their Instagram. You're screening them out by seeing what they really look like. You're not gonna get catfished. Bro, how much does a catfish call you? How much does a catfish cost you? 1 hour of your time and then maybe $40 of your cash. So I don't know what you make for an hour. That's 40 and 4, it's $80. Catfish is not worth $80. Get the Instagram, okay? Get the Instagram, exchange it, get to know her better. Next one is you video message her and she messages back. So on Instagram, the way it works is very friendly. You can send her a video message. It's really simple and easy for her. Now, she's gonna respond back to you because most girls are on Instagram already video Snapchatting themselves and bullshit, right? So they're used to taking videos on that platform. They're doing it 10 times a day for other people, just not you. So they're already doing it. Throwing you in that mix is very, very easy. If you don't have Instagram, what you can do then is you can get her to send it through just regular text. She can take a video and text it to you. Some of them will do that. You scream for sexuality. She doesn't close the door. This is the next one. With this one is, I try to put this in the video or put this in the audio message. I say, I want to find out if you're a good kisser. We'll find out eventually. Are you a good kisser? Are you bad? People complain about your kissing, right? You screen to see if she's sexual. One that I do is ask some questions when I'm in my video. In my video, I'm like, okay, who would you want to meet, dead or alive? You can pick anybody. One other question I'll ask after that is, if you and I can be together anywhere in the world, where would you want me and in what position? And then the question after that, I'll say, if you had 1 week to live, what would you do? So I sandwich a sexuality question in there, or these other questions in my videos, and the girls respond. So the girls are like, where would I go? What would I do with you? Well, you'll have to find out. That's good. Or she's like, where would I go? What would I do with you? Well, I'd like to go to Eiffel Tower, and it'd be underneath the stars. And I can't tell you the position, right? Something like that. At least play along with the fantasy of idea of expressing their sexuality. Some girls are just very reserved and won't do it. But there's also a lot of girls that waste their time and aren't open to anything romantically, especially in the online world. They're open to the attention and the date, but not romantically. So you got to screen that shit out. You're not looking for girls to slut. You're just looking for girls comfortable with her own sensuality. Last but not least, you give a time constraint and propose some dates that you're available. So you say, hey, listen, I'm busy Wednesday, Thursday, but Friday and Sunday I have some time. What works for you? And she responds with, hey, you know what? That might work. I think I can do Friday because I finished my volleyball at this time. So I think I can do it at this time. It might work for me. That sounds great. So you could propose when you're not busy to screen her out, and then say when you are available. Because if you just say when you're available, most likely she doesn't respond. But if you say when you're not available, and then when you are available, she takes it as a guy who invested into himself, he has some stuff going on in his life, and she wants to invest back into you. So that is the investment scale for online dating, including phone calls and leading it a little bit into social media, okay? Work with it, do this. Every time I have not done this, I have suffered the consequences of either getting a girl that was catfish, getting a girl who did not invest, understand the value, getting a girl who I was had to chase and she would not respond by phone calls and text messages, or going on a date and it's just a nightmare, okay? Make sure you do this. Make sure you follow this scale. It will reward you greatly. Here's what I want you to do right now. Go through your phone. Look at all the numbers you've gotten this month. Every single number, even the shitty ones you've had from online dating, ones you have from the club, wherever. and just figure out where you are in that investment cycle. What have you done so far and what's missing? Figure out where you got stuck. Were you just texting back and forth and you brought the idea of a date, you flaked out? Or maybe you were texting back and forth and you got stuck in texting limbo and didn't know what to do. Or maybe you sent her some ridiculous memes but never picked up the phone and actually called her. She's like, who's this meme guy? He's always sending me pictures of cats, right? Figure out where it is. It could be also, a very popular one these days is you had some communication going, but you had the idea of a date, but you never got sexual. So you never flirted in that way. So when you came to meet up for the date with her, she's like, great. And you went to hug her. She's like, whoa. She froze up like that. It actually happened to me the other day, really recently. Right? I met this girl, and I forgot to flirt with her about kissing or whatever. And she's like, I met up with her, and she just froze like a cat in like the fucking, I don't know, the road or some shit. I think hit by a car. It was just really uncomfortable. And I realized, she told me after, she's like, I haven't been on a date in a year and a half. I'm like, when's the last time you had sex? She's like, the same. I'm like, what? She's like, yes. I broke up with my boyfriend a year and a half ago. You're my first online date ever. I was like, whoa. Dude. I was just blown away by it. It was creepy. It was cool, but it was creepy at the same time. So you gotta figure out where you are. Go through all your numbers you had this last month, figure out where you are in the investment cycle, and figure out what needs to be done. I want you to go and get some numbers today, right now. Pick up your online dating platform, your Tinder, your Bumble, whatever. Get some numbers today with the process that I've showed you. You can get numbers in 24 hours. I've done it many times. Cracked open my phone at 9 a.m., had a girl over at 9 p.m. Get some numbers today and go through this process step by step. Check it off one by one as you go through this process. Every single one of the investment ladder steps. If you forget one of these on the scale here, pause it, come back to the video. The video is very short, only 11 minutes long. Come back to the video. Use it as a manual to coach you through this process until it becomes automatic. All right? Cheers. So next is social life. The idea of having people around you, girls around you, and invite you out to events that you go to, or that you go with them to parties or to have food or whatever. And while you're doing that, simultaneously you're also investing into them and inviting them places, which is pretty interesting, okay? Now, that's the ideal perfect picture. What I've found is that most of the social life technology that's out there is not as good as it should be. A lot of it's just you taking initiative, right? You go meet some girls at a table. You go meet some girls at a bar. You go meet some girls. You pull them to this after party. You do this. You fit up another event, dinner for them to go to. It's just you. So here's what I decided. I'm gonna read through my list of social circle stuff, what I consider to be investment, okay, on your end. And then I'm gonna flip it around. I'm gonna read through the list a second time, but this time it'll be her doing it to you. All right, so here's we go. Number one, meet her out day and night. You meet her out somewhere, you approach her, you talk to her, you get her phone number, her Instagram, whatever. And you tag her, number two, you tag her in an Instagram story. So that's with you and your phone. You're like, hey girl, blah, 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 blah. Look how these people, so much fun. Tag her in the story, right? Next one is you message her the next or following days. I had so much fun last time hanging out with you. It was great. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. We got to do it again sometime. Or hey, be sure to say hi to Bethany for me or some bullshit. After that, you're gonna invite her out to some sort of party or group event, right? You're gonna say, hey, my buddy has a great club on Wednesday. Everybody gets together for a pre-drink and then we go to the party. You should totally roll with. I know you like this place. I saw it on your Instagram. You should totally come through. Hey, James? James is gonna be there also. Be fucking cool, be sick. You should come through this thing, right? Next thing is, she usually comes out to the party, and she watches it online. She gets a fear of missing out. She goes, oh my goodness, she sees all your snaps. Oh, that story was so fun. That party was so fun. I wish I was totally there. She might not say it to you, but it looks like it was a lot of fun. I'm happy you enjoyed it. That's what she'll say to you, okay? So either she comes out to this party and you see her, or she doesn't come out and you meet some other girl. She sees you with other girls on your Instagram. Next thing is, you invite her out to a group date, some sort of group date. Hey, you know what? We had a lot of fun at that party. I'm sorry you missed out, but hey, we're gonna go to see the new Avengers movie. You should totally roll with if you haven't seen it yet, right? You invite her out some sort of group date or group dinner with you and like a guy and 3 other girls, or you and just 2 other girls. You invite all these girls out into one date. That way you can schedule this where all the girls see each other and they kind of realize you have other girls in your life and they're fighting over each other. Next thing is, you give her a favor to do or some homework. She knows about your business. She knows about your school. She's like, hey, could you find this book online for me? I'm really looking for it. Or if it's a business, hey, could you find out where they print blah, blah, blah in the city? or she's a connected girl. Who in your network has an apartment to sublet? What about renting this, blah blah blah? Do you know anybody that does card like this? You have her do some sort of favor for you or work for you, because as we know already, when somebody does a favor for you, they're more likely to reciprocate it or receive a favor from you. And also, favors and investment build trust. Investment, trust, investment, trust. If somebody's invested into you, they trust you more. Next, usually you cross-pollinate all the girls with the value in your social circles. You introduce her to some other girl who does something. Oh, great, you're a hair person? You're a hair person? Let me introduce you to a makeup artist that I know. You guys should totally work together, right? And then last but not least, you invite her out one-on-one for a date, and you do the tour, as I call it. The tour is like guys from Owen take a girl to sauna, to cryo, to eat some food at this place called Croft Alley, and then take her somewhere else, right? It's like a little tour around the places he likes to go. And my tour is a little different. My tour is like, we go to the grocery store, we pick out some ice cream and some cookies to melt them down. I would take her to my favorite like golf driving range sometimes in advance of that, and bring her home and like watch one of my own RC videos on the big screen TV or on the wall projector. That was my tour, right? Put on robes and whatever. So this is typically how you get a girl that's from cold approach into your social circle and then end up hooking up with her. Typically, it's a long-term strategy, a long game plan. This takes like maybe 2 to 3 weeks to do, right? Now, here's the other thing. Think about this. This is you investing. The only investment she makes is she comes out to meet you. That's it. But she hasn't actually put up any of her resources, time, network, information, knowledge, or finances. So let's flip it upside down. Let's flip it upside down. Let's read through this list again. But imagine this was her doing it to you. And what would that look like? So you meet her out a day. You meet her out at a club, it's the same thing. Next thing you do is you get her to tag you in one of her Instagram stories. So she has Instagram stories that she's doing, and it makes it funny when you're hanging out with her and her friends at a club, and you're like, do one. She tags you into it, right? So all of her friends see you, this guy who's being funny, charming, whatever, in her Instagram story. Even better. So then you would message her the next following days, hey, what's up? Had a lot of fun with you. Had a lot of fun hanging out. The story is hilarious. It's so good. Can you send it to me? I'm going to download and post it as well, right? And then you get her to invite you out to a party. So girls are pretty repeatable, and you see the clubs that they always go to. They're always going to go to a few of these same clubs. In the city of Toronto here, it's EFS. She's always going to go to EFS on a Wednesday and get bottle service, or she's going to go to Cabana Pool Bar on the weekend and be pictured like with her in her bathing suit by the water, like. Every girl's doing the same places. Maybe like 4 or 5 clubs in even a major metropolis city that the hot girls are going to. So she goes to one of these places. So get her to invite you out. Hey, nobody has a table? You know any promoters there on the Wednesday? Sweet. Yeah, next time you go, I'm totally down to roll. When the next time you guys are going? Sweet. You go with your friends, I'll bring my guys, right? So you get her to invite you out. And then you go to a party with her, or maybe you don't, but either way, she's made that extension to offer the value. And then try to get her to invite you to a group date. Right, bring up the idea of like, you guys had so much fun. You guys went to that restaurant? Yeah, we totally want to go there. We want to check it out. What's the next restaurant you're going to? Ah, cool. Yeah. Oh, you and your girlfriend Jessica? It's always Jessica, right? Fucking Jessica? Yeah, cool. I'll bring Phil. He's the guy you met at the party. Yeah, he's really cool. I'll bring him along. Yeah, right? And you get her to invite you out onto a group date. So all of a sudden, Phil and Jessica might not like each other, but at least you can even switch. You can even go for Jessica if you like her, or Phil can go for your girl or whatever, or maybe just platonic friends, right? Either way, you're now part of her reality. You're now part of her everyday life because you bring value of friends, and she also has connections that you might not have, but she's like your pivot girl. Next thing is she gets you to do her a favor. And at this point, it's okay because she's been introducing you to her network and she's been providing for you a little bit. Like, hey, listen, there's anything I help you out with, let me know. And girls always have some dream they want to get helped out with. They always have some like website they want to build for their makeup, or there's some YouTube thing they want to shoot for their makeup, or some Instagram thing they want to do for their little soap brand, or some problem they're having managing their finances. And some great self-development books. Thanks to RSD and some other places, you can recommend some great books in here. Buy her a book. I send girls books, and it's like $14 on Amazon. I send a girl a book about once a month, and it's the best investment you can make into a girl. Like, she will like literally come over and just like anytime and like love you because you sent her a book. When was the last time somebody bought her a book that cared about her? Whether she reads the first chapter or not, the idea that you bought her a book means you care about her well-being, right? So cross-pollinating, that's the next one, right? It's like bees. Bees will typically take pollen from one place and move it around. All the bees cross-pollinate from one flower to the next and move it around and stuff like that. So the idea is that people in her social circle need help. People that she knows need some assistance. You can introduce people to people that you know in your group. So she has a friend that has a beat up Buick that's always crashing down his car and needs serious mechanical help. Your buddy, Angelo, who's a mechanic. You say, hey, my buddy's a mechanic. I'm gonna help your two friends out. And you introduce them to each other. Sweet. Awesome. Everybody loves that. You're a well-connected guy, right? You're enhancing not just her life, but the life of people in her social circle based on who you know. And last but not least, then will be the one-on-one date where you get her to ask you out, or you ask her out finally, just like a hard ask, like straight up, like, hey, you know what? You're pretty cool so far. This is pretty good. I like this. Let's see what happens here. Let's blah, blah, blah. Go out. Or even you could go with whatever friends at this point, because you've hooked her friends up to some values, some car stuff, and that friend, Jessica, has met you on that double date sort of before, right? So you have all these opportunities. So this investment skill that you always do yourself in social circle, think about flipping it around and providing opportunities for the girl to invest into you. And she might not know how to do it with somebody that's brand new and outside of her comfort zone. She might be really good at doing this with her close friends that she trusts, but not really good at inviting new people into that social circle. So when you come up with these ideas and you present them to her, you might find a way for her to get out of her comfort zone and meet new people. All right, we're gonna figure out a way for her to integrate her life with new people, and also how for you to be a part of that. And to be really rewarding, because you're never gonna be afraid of even losing a female friend again, because now you know how to create them. You know the process for you to go out investing into them, and also a process for them to invest back into you. Here is your homework for this week. I want you to think of all the girls that you've met over the past few weeks here in this program. Think about these girls that you've run across that have been great. Think about particularly the girls that have boyfriends. Focus on all of them. That's where we're gonna start. Every girl that you have met so far, and every girl that you meet this week is like, you know what? You're fucking great, you're hilarious, but I have a boyfriend. Be like, sweet, I'm gonna friend zone you. I'm gonna friend zone you so hard like you've never been friend zoned before. You're gonna be asexual to me, just like that pillow over there. Just an old pillow, right? Make a joke about it. Make her your buddy, fist bump, come a little, bro handshake, and make sure that you can get her on your Instagram or get her phone number. And then you're gonna start building this social circle with her, getting her to invest into you, providing opportunities, and you also investing into her. And once you're both doing this, you're gonna see it grow tremendously. Your results are gonna really be surprising. You're gonna see girls hitting you back, calling you back, providing time for you to hang out with them. And they're gonna feel safe because they know that you bring your bro friend around, or you might even bring another girl with you, right? Imagine she's like, yeah, me and my friends are going to the mall. I was like, sweet, I'm gonna bring my friend Gwyneth. And she's like, well, he's bringing a girl? Yeah. She's like, you're not even a sexual option. You're just a guy that knows cool girls. And all of a sudden it's gonna build. So every girl's phone number you've gotten so far that had a boyfriend or was not emotionally available, keep in touch with her. Every girl that you met that you want to get this week that's not emotionally available, keep in touch with her. You're gonna be surprised. These girls eventually do get single as well. The longest I've had a phone number is 6 years before I slept with a girl. 6 years, bro. And there was another one, it was a girl who was in high school that I met a very long time ago, and then like 9 years later I slept with her. So I didn't have her phone number, I just happened to run into her on Facebook, right? So it's gonna change dramatically. So this is my promise to you, this is my gift to you about girls that have boyfriends, girls that are unavailable. Start your social circle now. I've had girls in my past that were entrepreneurs and startup girls, and we would throw dinner parties together. It was great. We'd have 20 people come. I'd invite 7, she'd invite 7, and then I'd invite like 4 Tinder dates, right? And she would invite girls who were pretty cool as well. Some of them I didn't like, but some of them I did like, and we'd end up being friends, and I'd go to their events too, right? So you never know what the possibilities are. You're starting an amazing spider web, a non-selfish spider web, and it's just gonna grow and grow and grow. And these girls are gonna be your ride or die chicks. They're gonna be the ones that you can call back in the middle of the night when you're having a hard time, like, hey, I'm really going through some shit. And they're like, yo, they'll tell you what they're going through. And they'll be your absolute true friends. So this is how you make female friends. This is how you expand your social life. Boom, collar up, because we're ready to go gangster style like Batman. Welcome to Gotham City, and I'm gonna show you the gangster Bruce Wayne right now. What I wanna tell you about is dates, okay? Dates don't work because you don't know how to ask for a date. You think you do, but it's not like high school. Do you want to go on a date? Yes or no? Circle one. Ultimatum. Love me or don't. Love me or die. It's not like that. It's one or the other. No, it's got to be a range. There's a range going for a date. So the first concept I want to bless you with here today is the concept of emotional bandwidth. And that means how emotionally open is the girl, okay? How wide is her heart? Is it like this, really, really tight? Or is it like this, big and open? Is it really, really tight where she's not giving you anything? She's really hard to talk to. She doesn't respond very quickly. What else? She doesn't respond to your calls. You send her ideas of where you want to hang out. She doesn't answer. That is a very, very closed off emotional bandwidth in her heart. A very big emotional bandwidth is like you send her a picture of a place. She's like, yeah, that's great. I'd love to go there. I always wanted to go to Niagara Falls. Oh, I heard about that bar. It's awesome. Yeah, I love that ice cream place or some bullshit like that. She's like, yeah, we should totally go. That's a very wide and open girl, okay? That's emotional bandwidth. So most of you guys make the mistake of asking a girl out on a date. I know you do it, but I care. You make the mistake of asking a girl out on a date when her emotional bandwidth is super small and she's not even open and receptive to an idea of a date or excited. She doesn't have the capability of getting excited because she's an ice cold queen. So you got to make sure she's warmed up a little bit. Now the emotional bandwidth is open. Now the second part where you usually fall short is investment. Is you ask for a hard ask. You can go for a soft ask, but then you got to go for a hard ask. The hard ask is where you're like, I want to meet you Friday, 7 p.m. I want to take you to this place for drinks. It's amazing hotel lobby. She's like, I can't do Friday. You're like, ah! You know, if you ask a hard ask, you can get a hard no. If you're willing to ask for that, you can get a hard no. A soft ask is when you bring up the idea of a date. You know what? I saw some cool place, blah, 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 downtown. One of these rooftop bars. We should check it out sometime. Yeah, like next week. Yeah. I mean, or this week. Fuck next week. 72 hours, right? This week. Yeah. Cool. That's a soft ask. By the way, every date you go for should be within a 72-hour time frame. I don't believe in this next week bullshit. Fuck next week. Fuck next week. Fuck next week. If the girl cannot make the time to meet you for a 15-minute coffee, she's probably not that serious about new relationships with guys in her life. You could tell her that. You could literally text her that. She's like, I can't until 2 weeks because my uncle is coming from Lebanon. Right? Like, listen, hey, I totally understand. But if you can't find 15 minutes in the next 7 days to meet for a cup of coffee, then you're probably not that serious about new relationships. And send that. Drop the mic, watch what happens. They all magically get cleared up. Why? Because they don't want to be hypocrites. Their schedules clear up. I have girls who are like, I'm not available for 2 weeks. All of a sudden she's available in 48 hours. So watch that happen. I know because I have 3 days tomorrow on a Wednesday. So here's how you screen for the actual date and get her to invest into the date. First one is she responds within 4 hours leading up to the date. 4 hours. So you don't offer the date unless she's responding back in 4 hours. Not these girls who text you back a day later. Fuck that. No girl texts you back a day later. We don't have time for that. You don't have time to fuck with spiders, bro. No time for that. If she's gonna text you back a day later, she's not even getting an option for a date. Why? Because that emotional bandwidth is super small. You go a soft ask or hard ask, you're not getting a good answer. She's like, I'll let you know if I can go on a date in 2 years. Fuck that. Small ask, only for that tight emotional bandwidth, if anything. I want her to respond within 4 hours. Next thing is, the night before the date, I call her and she responds. I always call the night before the date. Today, I was on the phone. I'm like a little fucking telemarketer. Calling up all the girls I have a date with tomorrow. 5-minute phone call, not very much. Hey, what's up? How you doing today? What you up to? You chilling? Yeah. How's your day? Oh, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, it's volleyball thing. Yeah, you hear what the thing did? Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. We said 8 o'clock, right? Yeah. All right, sweet. Boom. So that way you avoid the day of the date. Hey, are we still on? Good, tick. Good morning, beautiful. Are we still on? Should I send this text? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I should send a text? Okay. What do you think? Okay, I'm sending it. Oh, it was so dumb. I said, good morning, beautiful. Are we still on? She hasn't answered. It's been 6 hours. I don't know. I'm going to cancel my plans. Right? As the tears come to my eyes, as I say that, because it brings back memories. Right? You hate that text. So don't do that text. Cut that text off in advance. When you do that, night before a call, 5-minute conversation, just chat about her day. And you'll be warm in her heart. You'll keep that emotional bandwidth open. Next thing, You send screenshots of the date venue. She happily agrees to go there. Do this the day before as well if you can. After you're done with her on the phone, I'm saying, hey, I wanted to bring you to this great arcade bar called Tilt. You pay $5 to get in, and there's 40 arcade games. It's sick. Go to yelp.com, copy the link, send her the link, or send her a screenshot. I would pull girls to my hotel for first dates all the time on the road. And if you're my girlfriend, you're watching this, I'm sorry. But but the way I would do it before is pretty simple. What I do is I send a screenshot of the rooftop bar at the hotel, or I send a screenshot of the jacuzzi. And I'm like, this is where I am, sweet, you should come by. And they'd always come. No girl's gonna say no to a screenshot of a jacuzzi. Duh. Think about it. If you're disagreeing with me, you haven't tried. Try more, all right? Screenshot of a jacuzzi, rooftop bar, some screenshot. Oh, it's so beautiful. You can see the skinny. They always want to go, right? Send her the location. I also copy paste the address because I'm efficient. So a screenshot, copy paste the address. So she can just click on it. Automatically goes into her Uber. Very basic, very simple. Okay, and tell her what time. Last but not least, day of the date. You tell her what to wear. Something sexy, cute, casual, whatever. And ask if she's a good kisser. So day of the date, I'm gonna be like, hey. It's the old Jeffy line, right? So shout out to Papa J, Lax, Jeffrey Lewis, Allen the Ninth, right? For this, he'd say, hey, be sure to wear something cute so that we match. Now it changed to be sure to wear something hot so we match. Now I say, hey, are you a good kisser? Just a question, not I want to kiss you, but are you a good kisser? Just a question. Hypothetically speaking, are you a good kisser? She's like, no. Then I'm obviously not gonna be interested. She's like, that's not for you to ask me, how dare you? I'm from the 1930s. No. And she's like, well, that's for you to find out. Yeah, buddy. Or even she's like, I don't want to make any promises or guarantees, but we'll see. I've never had any complaints. That's great as well, right? I'm just looking for not getting a flat out no. That's all I want, not a flat out no. As long as I don't get a flat out no, I'm satisfied, I'm happy and content with that. So now you have the date investment scale, the pre-warm up for the date and everything. You understand emotional bandwidth, you understand emotions being closed off, hard ass, soft ask. So again, here's your assignment. Go back and look at all of your dates that you've had for the past 2 months. The ones that flaked out. Where'd you fuck up, bro? Did you go for too strong of an ask right away and you didn't have that bandwidth, that investment? Did you go for too strong of an ask? Or maybe you didn't go for the ask at all. Sometimes I read clients' emails and text messages, just like 15 exchanges back and forth and no actual date. It's like, hey, you want to hang out? She's like, sure. He's like, and he talks about some other bullshit. Some bullshit he talks about. Wasting everybody's fucking time, my time reading the message. Okay, you gotta bring up the date. Make sure you asked for it. Make sure you went for a hard ask at the right time. Make sure you followed through the day before. Make sure you didn't leave it to the day of the day and you're like, I'm supposed to meet in 3 hours. Hey, we still on? And then she feels like, well, this guy's just fucking wasting my time. He's not taking it seriously. Now, I learned this from European girls, because in European girls, specifically Zurich, Germany, Budapest, a couple places, European girls, they would call me or text me, are we still on for tomorrow, 8 p.m.? I'm like, damn, I appreciate that shit. I appreciated not the formality of it, but the commitment to follow through. And also, guess what? You're not gonna have flakes anymore, bro. You're tired of people flaking on you. You're tired of girls flaking on you. Well, I don't get flaked on anymore because I confirmed the day before. I call them, I send them a screenshot, and they're excited about it. Their emotional bandwidth, boom, it's like that. So I don't get flaked on anymore. If you're tired of getting flaked on, make the date more exciting. Until next time.